Welcome to another session of the ATU Library Python Programming Tutorial Series. And this tutorial is going to focus on the introduction of lists in Python programming. Actually, list is basically very important when it comes to what programming. And this tutorial is brought to you by Obedodro Ej. Okay, so when we talk about list, what is list? Okay, so we are saying that imagine you have a toy box, right? So let's say you have a box, and that box, the purpose of the box is basically to contain all toys. And we are saying that we have different types of toys inside the box. Now, each toy has a name. Each toy in the box basically has a name, and you can access and play with them whenever you want. Okay, so we are saying that in Python, a list is like a toy box, actually. But instead of toys, it can hold any kind of information you want. Any kind of information, the toy box, that is in Python. So we have a box and you can keep in any kind of information that you want. So we are not saying that it's not actually going to save toys. You can say that you can keep numbers, words, or even other lists in a list. So let's start with let's say you have a variable. A variable just contains only one value. And as the program is running, you can just change that value. So you can only keep a value into what? A particular what variable. But you see, a list over here is different. So you have something that you are keeping a bunch of data in that particular thing. So you can put anything you want into a list. And the items in your list don't have to be related in any particular way. You get it? So because a list usually contains more than one element, it's a good idea to make the name of your list plural. So for instance, you declare a variable and it's like you present it in a form of what? A list. So you have a list in there. So you have a name, let's say letters. And you know that you have the values, or you have, let's say, digits, and you know that the values that you have in there is not just going to be one or two, but rather you have several of them. That is why it's advisable to put your names of lists in the plural form. Because if you are dealing with names, you know that you are going to store a bunch of names in there. So you have names equal to, and you put your list in that order. So basically, it's advised to make the name of your list plural, actually. So lists are important because they allow you to store and manipulate collections of data, making your programs more dynamic and flexible. In Python, square brackets, as we are seeing over here, indicate a list. And individual elements in the list are separated by what? Commas. So elements in list are being separated by what? Commas. And you can have a whole bunch of data as what? List. Like that of what? A toy box. Now, examples of list. So we have fruit over here, and all the information that you see over here is being assigned to what? Fruit. So this is a presentation of what? List. You realize that fruit is containing 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 4 items over here, all stored in what? This fruit that you see over here. And this is how list is being presented. Here's a simple example of list that contains a few kinds of what? Fruits. So I have these 4 items and I've named it what? Fruits. Now, if you go ahead and type print fruit, which is a wrong way of printing element or printing list, that is the wrong approach. What you are going to see, the outcome of this is you are going to see this. So if you ask Python to print a list, Python returns, so this actually represents a list. So if you are asking Python to print this list, that is being assigned to what? Fruit. So to print this fruit, so fruit is a list. So to print this, Python returns its representation of the list, including the square bracket. So if you go ahead and print this, this is what you are going to see. Python will print exactly this to you, but this is not what you want your users to see. Because this isn't the output you want your users to see, let's move ahead and learn how to access the individual elements or individual items in a list. Now, assessing elements in a list. A list is like a special container where you can put things in order. Let's say you have a list of your favorite toys, a teddy bear, a race car, and a puzzle. All these things that I have mentioned, the teddy bear, the race car, and the puzzle, is being contained in a container, or let's say a special container. Now, each toy has a number that shows its position in the list. The teddy bear is the first position. So this is the first one. The race car is the second, and the puzzle is in the third position. So you have a special box, and the teddy bear in the box is the first one, the race car is the second one, and the third one is the puzzle. And we are representing the special container as a list. Now, to find a toy in the list, you can tell Python the number of toy you want. For example, if you want a toy in the second position, you say, give me the toy at position 2. In Python, we use square brackets to show the position. So if you want to pull out the race car, you have to tell Python that, hey, the race car is in this particular position. And so give me this, but we represent the position in square bracket, or we put the position into square bracket. So Python this reads everything, looks into the what you have, the position, and brings you the item that you are looking at for. When we are doing a project, you come to know the importance of using lists in the programming. Now, so you write the name of the list, which is like the box with the toys, followed by the number of the toy you want, all in square brackets. So this particular line is like trying to let you know how you can access elements in a list. So these are the elements. We don't want to go ahead and print this, but rather we want to access only banana from this list. We want to access only apple from this list. We want to access only orange from this list. We want to access only grape from this list. We don't want something like this. How then do you go about to access it? We are saying that when you come to the third point, so you write the name of the list. Now, what is the name of the list over here? Fruits. You write the name of the list, which is like the box with the toys, followed by the number of the toy you want. So if the number of the toy you want is at position 2, you have to place it into the square bracket. And this is what is called the square bracket. You have the square bracket over here. All right. Now, when you are done, we are saying that you are supposed to, for instance, let's pretend or let's use a basic example over here. Let's pretend our list is called toys. Actually, so we have a list called toys. Now, to get a toy in the second position, you write toys 1 in Python. Why? Even though the particular toy, this particular one, is in, if you are counting, we have, this is the first one, this is the second one. So let's say we want to pull out this race car in our second position, but we are saying that to get a toy in the second position, you write toys 1. Why? This is second, but we have 1 over here in Python. Now, remember something. Remember that we start counting from 0. So the second position is number 1 for Python. So if we have toys equal to, our list is called toys. Toys equal to, we have this in our square bracket, teddy bear with a comma, race car with a comma, and a puzzle. And we are saying that, okay, toys, we have the square brackets and we put in 1. This is 0. This is 1. So it's going to pull out race car. And this one represents the second position of the toys that we have. So always the count actually starts from 0. So even though this is our third one, when we want Python to pull out puzzle, this one becomes 2. So 0, 1, 2. Now, examples, assessing elements in a list. So we have bicycle, We have all these things. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3. So if we are to print bicycles, 1, it prints this. This is what you see. Bicycles, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. It prints specialized. Okay, so the code returns the second and fourth bicycle. So actually, basically, if you are counting from 1, 1, 2, this is the second one, third, fourth. But if you go ahead and put 2 over here, Python is going to print this one because 0, 1, 2. If you go ahead and put fourth value over here, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. We don't have what the fourth value. But if you are counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the fourth value. So always remember that the count actually starts from what? 0. Now, Python has a special syntax for accessing the last element in the list. By asking for the item at index -1, Python always retains the last item in the list. So we have bicycles. This is what we have. And if you want to access the last value, if we actually would like to access the last value that is specialized, we are saying that bicycles, we have a square bracket, we have a square bracket over here. We have what? -1. So -1, that is what specialized. And it follows in that order. So if you put -2 over here, it's what? Red line. If you put what? -3 over here, -4, it brings out this. So this code returns a value was specialized. That is for -1. That is our last value in our what? List. All right. So we have a demo actually. So that is our PyCharm. And what do we have over here? So we are saying that this tutorial is talking about a list. We are going to declare a list. After declaring, we try to access it. So let's say we have fruits. We have fruits, and we introduce our square brackets. Then we have this, our first one, we have mango, comma, we have orange, comma, and we have, let's say, apple. Sorry. So before the comma, you have your single quotes. We have apple. All right. Now we really want to access the values. What we said earlier on is if you go ahead, let's say print, and you print the list, that is the list name is what? Fruits. So if you go ahead and print the list name, let's see what Python gives you. So you realize that it's prints actually the list for you. So we have mango, orange, and apple. We don't want something like this, okay? All right. So we can go ahead and say, okay, print fruits. We introduce our square brackets. We bring 0 in there. And mango start the count from what? 0, 1, 2. So we print this. You see mango over here. Okay? All right. We have 2, value 2. It's print what? Apple. We also have -1. It prints the last item. So let's see. It prints what? Apple. Now you can do this. You can have this and assign it to a variable, another variable, and you can apply the string methods that we demonstrated in our third tutorial. Actually, that is, you can do that with upper. You can do that with lower. You can do that with what? Title. So in our string tutorial that we demonstrate that you can apply any of such method to this. So for example, we can say that print fruits 0 dot upper. Okay, and it's going to change the values that we have over here to what? Uppercase. All right, so you have mango. Now let's try to assign this to a variable. Yeah, saying that to upper case, we have what? We have fruits, we have this 0 dot upper. So you go ahead and do print to uppercase. All right, so this is an assignment to what? A variable, and the variable name is what? To uppercase. And fruit 0 is going to pick the value of what? Mango. After picking the value of mango, dot upper, that is, we have the dots over here, and the dot is calling what? A method, and the method is called what? And the method is called upper, and this upper is going to change the string that we have over here by converting it to what? Upper cases or capital letters. After that, it assigns it to the variable known as the to uppercase. Now we go ahead and use the print method to print whatever value is being assigned to this variable. That is what? To uppercase. We have what? Print. So we have the run over here. You still see what? Mango. Okay, so we have list. This one represents what? List. After the list, we try to pull some of the values that we have over here, added the string methods to it, some of the string methods to it, assign it to this variable, went ahead and print it. Okay, so we can change this one to -1. -1 is our special, our last item in the list, that is what? Apple. Okay, so we have apple, convert apple to capital letters, then put a value into this variable that is to uppercase. Go ahead and print to uppercase. We run it, we are going to get apple in capital letters. Okay, so we have apple over here. All right, so that is the end of this tutorial. That is just introduction to what? List. And in our next tutorial, we are going to move deeper into what? List. So kindly subscribe to the tutorial, to our YouTube channel, actually. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you have a lot of good things coming your way. Okay, so subscribe to our channel. Thank you. See you guys again.